Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. We are starting a new vlog today. I just ended an absolutely tragic vlog yesterday. I had a 5-star read and then like 3 DNFs in a row. So I'm ready for some good reading right now, okay? I'm super excited about this vlog specifically because we are going to be finishing, attempting to finish some series that I'm in the middle of, and I'm super excited about it. It's been a really long time since I have been in one of these series, and then the other one is a little bit more recent, but we're going to talk about the first series that I'm going to be getting into, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited that I actually started this book already because I just could not contain myself. Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. I'm so excited. For anybody wondering, I am reading this in publication order, so I did Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Assassin's Blade, Heir of Fire, and all the rest. I did read a couple different ways that you can read this, and to me, reading, oh my goodness, to me, reading Assassin's Blade first, I think wouldn't have had the same effect for me as reading it third, because from what I've heard is like a lot of people find Assassin's Blade really tough to get through because you don't really know Selena as a character yet. So this tends to fall flat for a lot of people when they read it that way. And then the other option that I had was to read it in the romantic order, which is Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, then Assassin's Blade. But a lot of people were saying that the kind of con with that one is that Heir of Fire ends on this huge cliffhanger, and then you have to like stop and go back to Assassin's Blade, and it's just kind of tough. So I felt like I was gonna hate that. But the other thing that I have to accept is that some of the things that are going to happen in Heir of Fire will be spoiled a little bit for me with Assassin's Blade. But I mean, that's kind of, it seems like that's how Sarah J. Maas intended it if this is how she published it, you know? And this is the recommended way that she suggests, so that is the way that I'm going to be reading it. I'm trying to make this intro short because I can hear my daughter playing with things she's not supposed to. Nothing dangerous, just like things I don't want her to mess with. But I did start this yesterday, and I'm on page 57. I'm already loving being back in this world, and I cannot wait to like see my thoughts and like figure out if I continue to love this series. I've heard it only gets better, so I'm super excited. But this is going to be our read of the, I guess, the week. I don't know how long it's going to take me to finish this book, okay? But we have some plans today, so I don't know how much reading I will get done during the day today. But my grandmother is supposed to come and pick Nova and I up because Jonathan has my car because his car's having some issues. We're going to go to Target, probably get some lunch, and hi! Do you want to come say hi? Say hi! Hi! Oh no, don't touch it. Don't touch it. I know. It's nap time, so she's very tired. Look, here's your water. But then after getting some lunch, I'm sure we're just gonna come back here, and I've got obviously a couple things to do around my house because I am trying to be a more organized person when it comes to all of the routine in my house. So I will have to do that today. So I don't know. Typically I like reserve Nova's nap times for me to sit down and read, and it seems like she might only get one nap today, and I might have to use that to do stuff around the house. So who knows how much reading we're gonna get done in the day, but hopefully later tonight, I will definitely get some reading done once my husband is home and she's in bed and we just kind of chill for the night. But that's my little intro this morning. I'm so excited to read this book, and then the next series I'm even more excited about, so it's gonna be a good vlog. I can just feel it. Okay, bye. Good job. Hello friends, please ignore the pile of laundry over here. It's all clean. It all just needs to be hung. And I can't because Nova's napping in our room. So we'll do that later. But it is like 9:15 maybe. I have just finished getting things done around the house, getting caught up on some content scheduling and stuff for my Bookstagram, which that's the other thing. I have revamped my Bookstagram, so I'm going to link that down below now instead of my personal Instagram, because I just prefer to keep like my personal life and then my book life separate. It is Friday. It has been a while, I think, since I have updated you guys on Assassin's Blade, and I'm still having a good time, but I'm noticing that I am struggling with this book a little bit, and I don't know if I've already talked about this, but I'm on page 145, and so I'm getting to be a good ways through this book, and this book is kind of difficult for me because it's like 5 different novellas, which is totally fine. I think I'm on the 3rd novella, and like all the novellas are great, but I think because it's not one continuous story, it feels like I'm like restarting the book every time we complete a novella. And even though it's like the same character, like we're still following Selena, we're meeting other characters, but like we're still following the same character. It just feels like a bunch of different stories, because it is. But it's just making it that much harder for me to read. Like I feel like I'm just moving a lot slower. Today I am going to be working / hanging out at my friend's bookstore. My friend opened a bookstore here in town, and I go in typically on Fridays, and it is kind of my way to reset as a mom and just get some time to myself and, you know, just get that good breather, because I am a stay-at-home mom, so I'm with her all the time and I love her, and honestly she's the best little thing ever and never really gets on my nerves. But it is, I think, just good to have that like mental reset day as a mom, so that you don't go through burnout and then end up like lashing out on your kids or anything like that. And so it's just been super helpful for me. Anyways, so I do that on Fridays, and it's not like a paid thing. Like I literally am just like, can I just go sit in the bookstore and watch the bookstore all day? And it's typically from 11 to 5. So I'm going to be there today. And I also have just started running their social media and their book club on Fable. So I do have like a couple of work things that I need to get done. I need to take some photos and content, and then also get them scheduled and ready to post for the week. So I should have quite a bit of reading time at the store today, because I don't have like really anything on my agenda. Last week I had a lot of catching up to do because I was out from the store a couple weeks, so I had a lot of social media stuff to catch up on. But this time I just have to schedule this next week's post and take photos and stuff, and that typically takes me about an hour to do all of that. And I don't have like a video to edit or upload or anything this time, so I just have like a bunch of reading time while I'm at the store, and I'm really excited. I'm hoping to either get a good ways through this or finish this. Nova she woke up at like 7 a.m. and then she wanted to go back in her bed at like 7:40. This is when I say that I have like the best toddler baby in the entire world. This is what I mean, okay? Because you hear all these stories about how these kids don't sleep, okay? Mine loves her sleep. It's the best thing ever. We've gotten into a groove like with her crib, and we've been working on this for like months. She co-slept with me for a really, really long time, and I honestly think that is what set her up for success in her crib, because someone that I follow says that dependence breeds independence. So if you allow them to be dependent on you like they are biologically wired to do, they're going to muster up the courage and feel safe enough to be able to venture out and do things on their own, instead of trying to force them into things they're not ready for. So she co-slept with us for the majority of her life, like probably until she was like 10 months old, I think she slept with us. And we loved it, actually. Like, we didn't mind it at all. We planned to do the next thing. We planned to do the same thing for the next baby. And so when she was like 10 months old, we started to notice she wasn't sleeping as well in our bed. I'm like, okay, that's kind of a sign that she's ready to be in her own space. So we moved her into her crib like that one night. and she slept through the whole night. That was like the first time she's ever slept through the night. She slept through the whole night, and I was like, oh wow, like maybe she likes it in here. And now she will ask to go get in her crib when she's ready for a nap or when she's ready to go to bed. And this morning she was kind of laying with me and seemed like extra cuddly. And I was like, well, she just woke up like 40 minutes ago. But I was like, do you want to take a nap in your bed? And she like immediately gets down and just starts walking to the bedroom. Like she was like, yep, I do. She walked right over to her crib, asked me to put her in the crib, and I just leave the room. And she, for the last hour, has really just been like quietly playing in there by herself and has finally like just fallen asleep. But like no fuss, nothing. Like she just wants to be by herself in her own little world and fall asleep. And then she just wakes up so happy, and she'll do this multiple times in a day, typically 2 to 3 times. Typically it's only 2 naps, but recently she's been doing 3 because she hasn't been feeling very good. But it just leaves a lot of reading time for me in the day. I try to get all of my like house duty stuff and all of the responsibility stuff done while she's awake. That way when she goes down for a nap, I have my reading time. And yeah, and then later in the day I have like my intentional time with her. But anyways, that's a little mom tangent there. But I feel like I did have someone comment how I get my toddler to nap so much, and I honestly don't know. She is just like her own. She is like the easiest, sweetest thing ever. And before we do the whole like, oh, that means your second is going to be awful, please stop doing that. I don't understand why we as parents speak death and negative expectations over our children. Number one, before they're here, and then over other people's children. Like, why would you do that to somebody? It makes absolutely no sense to me. But the type of comments that I get about like, oh, that means your second's gonna be awful. Bro, what? That's not how it works, okay? But anyways, nonetheless, my toddler's amazing, and my next baby is also gonna be amazing. Just putting that out there. That was a long little bit right there. But I'm gonna drink my matcha. So good. So good. Read a little bit of Assassin's Blade. Hopefully get a good ways into this book. I'll take it with me to the bookstore. We'll do some more reading. I'm either going to end up reading this or honestly watching BookTube, because I do have a couple of people's videos that I want to catch up on. So I'm probably going to read some of this though. I went through some serious effort just now to like try to get my tripod to cooperate, and it's not. So we're giving up on that. I finished Assassin's Blade, and I'm obviously gonna continue the series. Like, I'm having a good time, but this was definitely not my favorite. Some of these stories as of now just feel a little bit like, all right, cool. I'm sure it won't feel that way like once I do continue, but as of right now, it's just kind of like, okay, I feel like there's some of these things like I didn't necessarily need to know. I don't know if anybody else has felt like that about this, but it just feels like, okay, and then what? So I'm glad I have the backstory, but it does feel a little bit unnecessary at this point, after reading Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight first. So maybe I wouldn't feel that way if I read this first, but that is just not the way I was recommended to read it. But I think I'm going to give this one 3.5 stars, probably. It just feels right at 3.5. I did start our next book for this vlog. I think you guys are going to be so excited about this one. I'm giddy about this one, so I'm really excited to see you guys' reactions. But the next series we are trying to tackle in this video, Iron Flame. I'm so excited, can you tell? I feel like every time I talk about Fourth Wing or like just the series in general, I am like beaming because I loved Fourth Wing so much. I started this yesterday and I don't even know where I'm at. I'm on page 81 and I'm having such a great time. I did not read like the synopsis of this book at all, so I literally have no idea where the story is going. Like, I'm going in blind, and I'm honestly really happy that way. So super exciting. I definitely will have some reading time today, but not immediately. Once Nova wakes up from her nap, which should be in the next 30-ish minutes. I'm going to be headed to Barnes & Noble with a friend, so excited about that. I love this. I'm having such a great time already. I love that I am reading this so close to Fourth Wing, because I feel like there's a lot of things that like I still remember and everything still feels really fresh for me. I think I'm about to turn into like your series binger, to be honest, because I like so badly just want to ask my friend for her copy of Air of Fire and just keep going, because I need to understand why the heck we went through this. I mean, like, part of me understands, but there's another part of me that's just kind of like, okay, I just don't know if that was necessary, but I'm sure that changes once you start reading the rest of the story, that this has a lot of context. But that is, I just feel it, you know, like, I'm just like, oh, like, I just want to like binge a bunch of series. And I've added so many fantasy romance books to my Amazon wish list. That's pretty much all it is, and I'm really excited about it. I'm actually hoping to pick up a couple of fantasy romance when I go to Barnes & Noble today, which I was kind of debating because I'm also trying to save for a camera, like my absolute dream camera, because I'm learning that I hate filming on my phone. It's the worst thing ever, so I need a camera again. In case you missed it, I sold my last one and that was dumb. But I found my new dream camera and I need to get it. So I'm also saving for that. But at the same time, like, I'm going to Barnes & Noble. And, like, I have a lot of romantasy that I have been eyeing at Barnes & Noble. So we'll see. We'll just see if I stay strong or if I cave. I have a feeling I'm going to cave. But anyways, so that's kind of exciting today. But I don't have, like a lot of thoughts on Iron Flame yet, obviously, because I'm not super far into it. And I also can't give that many thoughts without spoiling the first book if you haven't read it. So I would definitely have to be careful while talking about this book. But I am just loving being back with these characters. They just feel like my friends, and I'm just like, yeah, I love being here with you. So anyways, that's my little update for now. I might read a couple pages now while I wait for Nova to wake up, but I also need to edit a video. So I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna figure it out, and then I'll update you guys later at some point. Okay, really quickly, I'm sitting here reading. It's 1:52. Nova is napping, and I'm hoping that she keeps napping because I'm on page 119, and I am, like, loving this book. Xaden is, like, OMG. Okay, let's not make this weird, but he reminds me of my husband, like, in the best ways. Like, I don't know, like, even though he's, like, bad to the bone and, like, I'm gonna kill everybody and, like, is kind of cold-hearted when it comes to, like, other people's lives, like, the way that he cares for Violet is so sweet and, like, so, I don't know, it's so selfless and it's so wholesome, and I am, like, I'm over here reading and I'm just like, I don't know, I can't stop smiling at my book, and I'm having, like, the best time, and I was like, I need to hop on and document this, like, just for my sake, because I am going to read this series for the rest of my life. Like, this is so good. This is so good. I'm having such a good time, but I wanted to hop on and say that. I am, like, determining, I am a sucker for romantasy. I didn't even know this is, like, a real thing a couple of years ago, and I'm not, like, I'm kind of, like, meh about romance itself. Like, I'm just kind of like, well, they're hit or miss, and I love me some fantasy, but you put those things together, and you best believe I am signed up, because, oh my gosh, I'm literally having the best time. I just love this so much. But anyways, that's my little update on Iron Flame. I'm so glad that I read Assassin's Blade first, and I'm ending this vlog with this book because it's literally everything and more. Okay, I feel like this video is turning into me just, like, chatting, and there's, like, no b-roll, but whatever. I am still reading Iron Flame, And I feel like I am like so hesitant to give updates on this book because for one, oh my gosh, that was scary. Did you see that? For one, I don't want to accidentally spoil anything, but two, I feel like I don't have much to say besides like I'm just having the absolute best time of my life. I texted my friend last night this is actually her copy and I'm borrowing it. And I'm also definitely going to be borrowing Onyx Storm, like, immediately. But I texted her last night about something that was happening in the book. Like, I was, like, kind of tearing up about it. And I was like, oh, why am I even tearing up? Like, this is so dumb. Like, this doesn't even, it wasn't even, like, a part that was, like, oh, that's so sad. Like, it was just, like, why is this even making me emotional right now? Whatever. And anyways, it was just so fun to chat with her about it. And she's like, I think I'm going to need to reread them before I read Onyx Storm. And I'm like, that's perfect because I'm going to need Onyx Storm immediately. So you can't pick that up yet. I'm going to have to like go straight into it. But I'm like, I don't know what it is about this book. Like I was a little bit nervous for this one because people talk about how they don't love it as much as Fourth Wing. But to be honest, they're both kind of 5 stars for me at this point. Like it's so good that I'm just like, I don't understand how this wouldn't get 5 stars because I don't think I've stopped smiling since reading this book. My husband was so irritated last night. He's like cooking dinner and I'm over here like on the couch reading and I just keep like laughing and reacting at things. He's like, are you serious? And I'm like, it's so good. Like I'm not usually like that with books. Like I'm not usually like a physical reactor type. Like even in movies, I just like, I don't react to things. So anyways, I feel like it just proves how much I'm having a good time and how much I'm loving this, but that's my update for now. I'm on page 354. I'm definitely way ahead of schedule. But that's okay. That's okay. I just can't stop reading. I literally stayed up, not last night, the night before. I stayed up for like 2 hours after my husband had gone to bed and I was just like reading and like, it was not 2 hours. It was like an hour. I just could not put it down. It was that whole moment of like, one more chapter. And then the chapter would end and I'd be like, well, I need to know what happens. Read the next chapter. But anyways, it's been the best time. I do have some plans on the agenda today. I'm supposed to go to a Galentine's brunch with some friends this morning. I say this morning at 11:30. Nova is currently napping. And I'm going to try and read as much as I can because as soon as she's up, I'm going to have to change my clothes and we have to run a couple of errands before brunch. We'll see how much reading we can get done in the next 30 minutes to an hour. Okay, you guys, unfortunately, I'm going to have to end this vlog here, even though I have not finished Iron Flame. I am on page, I got this. Hold on. I'm on page 504. We are almost done. I have like 130 pages left and I'm like torn between like absolutely devouring these last 130 pages and savoring them for the rest of my life because I really don't want this to end. And I do have Onyx Storm available to me to dive into, but I can't dive into it yet. But I'm also like, do I want to dive into it? Because then I have to wait forever until the next book comes out and I'm just going to be suffering. So I'm not really sure what I want to do. All I know is that I love this and it will be a 5-star. I'm just convinced that it's going to be a 5-star. But if you want to hear like my full thoughts, I guess, stay tuned for the next vlog, okay? Because this is also going to be in my Romantasy vlog. Romantasy started yesterday, but I had such a busy day yesterday, so I did not get around to filming or really reading much at all. But because Romantasy has started and I want to do a separate video for that, I have to end this one right here, right now, because I'm not trying to film 2 vlogs at the same time. That is just too much for my mom brain. So if you'd like to hear my full, complete thoughts of Iron Flame with no spoilers, wait till the next vlog. But with that being said, that is the end of this vlog. I had so much fun. I'm probably going to do these often because I'm trying to get through all the series on my shelf and just like be better about finishing what I have on my shelves. And I also really want to start binging series. Like I all of a sudden have like this urge to just binge series and I don't know where it's coming from, but I'm not mad about it. So hopefully we'll have some more like themed vlogs coming up soon where I'm just kind of like powering through some series on my shelves. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in my romantasy vlog.